This is video P4, which shows you how to change decimals into fractions. So first of all, let's start with something like 0.28. First thing I'm going to do is label the decimal columns as tenths and hundredths. Now, once you've done this, you underline all of the decimal numbers and that becomes your numerator in your fraction. Now, the number that you put on the bottom is whatever your final column is. So this is the hundredths column, so let's put 100 on the bottom. So once we've got 28 over 100, the final stage is to simplify. So if we divide by 2 top and bottom, we will get 14 over 50. And if we divide by 2 again, we will get 7 over 25, which is the fraction in its simplest form. Let's try another one. Let's go for 0.36. So here's our tenths and our hundredths. The 2 digits of the decimal part become our numerator. Oh, hang on a minute, let's get that right. 36. And then our denominator is whatever this final column represents. So hundredths give us 100. Then to simplify, divide by 2 and we get 18 on the top and 50 on the bottom. Divide by 2 again and we get 9 over 25. That's our simplest form for our fraction that's worth the same as 0.36. Sometimes you get a little bit of complication where you have more than 2 decimal places. So here we've got tenths, hundredths, and we have thousandths. There you go, sorry about that delay. So if we want to do this one, underline your 3 digits and they become your numerator. Now this time the denominator will be whatever the final column represents, so this will be 1,000. Slightly harder to simplify this time. If we divide the top and the bottom by 5, we get 35 over 200. And then if we divide by 5 again, we get 7 over 40. And that will be our simplest form. Let's try 0.125. So we have tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. Our 3 digits of the decimal part of the number go as our numerator, and then on the bottom, thousandth is our last column, so we put 1,000 on the bottom. And so to simplify, now this time I'm going to be a bit braver and I'm going to divide by 25 top and bottom. And that will give us 5 on the top, and on the bottom we will get 40, which is not quite our simplest form. Do you reckon we can do it again? Yep, definitely. We can divide by 5 and we will get 1 over 8. That will be our simplest form. Now the final part is when we've got a different number at the beginning to a 0. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to notice I have a 1 as my whole number. So that is going to go at the beginning of any answer that I give because the 1 stays as one whole. Then let's do the decimal part. So we've got 75 as our numerator, tenths, hundredths. That tells us that we need to put 100 on the bottom. And then to simplify, the 1 stays the same. The 75 over 100, if we divide by 25, will give us 3 quarters, and that's our simplest form.